Good evening, everyone. Barry, thank you so much. What a tremendous event, a fantastic feel in the room, a really exciting time for our party and for our province. And it's really an honor for me to be able to be here with you tonight and with so many good friends to celebrate what we have done as Progressive Conservatives in the past 15 months. But I truly want to thank the organizing committee for this dinner. It's a pretty small committee who worked pretty hard through very long months. I think Barry mentioned when we first met to put this whole idea together, there was still snow on the ground and the world looked a lot different. So thank you so much to the committee for the tremendous effort that you put into this. And if everyone could just give them a round of applause, I'd appreciate it. It truly is an honor to stand before you today as leader of the Progressive Conservative Party and as your Premier. And it's really an honor for me to be here in our province's capital and to be able to celebrate who we are as a province in a beautiful city that is a testament to our past and will be such an important part of our future. Last month, this province faced a historic decision. And our party faced a historic test. Critics, pollsters, and pundits wrote us off. But we defied them, we proved them wrong, and we won a truly historic victory. And that success was because of your support and your belief in our vision. And our party is stronger than ever. This campaign was about choice between a province looking forward to a shining future or one looking back to a distant past. And Albertans unmistakably made the choice to embrace that future. This election was certainly not won by one single person. It was a team effort of dedicated Progressive Conservatives across this province who are proud of our history and passionate about our future. And I want to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude to all of our volunteers and all of our donors, the people who knocked on doors, raised money, spoke to your friends and colleagues, talked about the issues that mattered to us as Albertans. You spoke from the heart about our vision and our values and what we would deliver on. And you showed Albertans again that our party is the right one for this province. So thank you to all of you. There are so many people here tonight from communities across this province from north to south, and you all were involved in spreading our message. You kept going against the odds. We remade our party, and now we're going to build Alberta. This is your victory, and I thank you so much for that. And I also want to congratulate our recently returned MLAs who we swore in at the legislature on Tuesday. It was pretty exciting to have 61 MLAs filling that chamber and to know that a Progressive Conservative government will once again be sitting in the House. And I also want to thank all 86 of the amazing Albertans who stood for our party in the last election. Our party can be proud of our whole team. And it's exciting tonight to also be able to congratulate our 3 senators in waiting, Doug Black, Scott Tannis, and Mike Scheck. You know, this government we pledged to put candidates for Senate on the ballot, and we did it. We kept that province. We kept that promise for Albertans, and we kept that promise for Canada. Alberta is leading a campaign that I believe will address Canada's democratic deficit and usher in, eventually, a fully elected upper chamber in Parliament. You know, running for public office takes exceptional courage and an extraordinary commitment. And we have an opportunity tonight as Progressive Conservatives to thank many people who've served before. Many of those people are in this room tonight. And I'd really like it if we could just have former MLAs stand for a moment so we can thank you for the tradition that you've brought to this party that allows us to have the success that we have today. And I see a couple sitting right here in the front row. We have people that have served before, we have MLAs now, and we have candidates that gave their hearts to Albertans. We worked hard. We know that we have earned the trust of Albertans, and we look forward to the next 4 years. Because Progressive Conservatives have a long, proud tradition in this province, a tradition that began with Peter Lougheed. He created a direction that we can all be proud of today and proud of in the past. It's one that gave us the quality of life that we have today for our children, for our grandchildren, and for ourselves. It gave us the opportunity to define our future and to know that as Albertans, that is always where our success comes from. Now, I had the opportunity to spend an awful lot of time with Premier Lougheed last week. He wanted to come back and see his office. And it's funny, every day I go into my office, the Premier's office, and I go about my business and I do my paperwork. And when he called and asked to come and see his office, it was the first time, that moment, that it occurred to me that this had been the office of every Progressive Conservative Premier since 1971. It was an honour to have him, to spend time with him, and to be able to get his perspective on where we are now as Progressive Conservatives. You know, the political map right now in Alberta looks very much the same as it did in 1971. So I asked him, what do we do about that? And he said, you govern. You ensure that a Progressive Conservative government governs for all Albertans. And that's what we're going to do. No matter where people live in this province, we will ensure that north, south, east, or west, this government continues to reflect Albertans' values and to provide the services that Albertans are entitled to. Our Progressive Conservative government will stay true to our ideals, and I believe to your ideals. We will build on a foundation of economic strength and social responsibility. We will strike the right balance between progressive and conservative. And we will keep moving forward on our agenda for Edmonton and the Capital Region. Edmonton is a perfect example of the new Alberta. It's an energetic and diverse city, a place where people don't just want to make a living, they want to make a life for themselves and for their families. This city, this region, is the jewel in our crown, our capital and the seat of government. Many visitors from abroad first come to Edmonton. And when they come, they experience our culture, our heritage, and our way of life. As the urban centre of the North, you share in this region's growth. And you have a vision for what you are now and what we all want Edmonton to become. And this government will partner with you to achieve this vision. You know, the provincial government and the city have had wonderful partnerships in the past years. We developed a wonderful working relationship in implementing trailblazing initiatives like the 10-year plan to end homelessness, and that will continue. And our government must and will treat this capital region, our capital region, with the respect that it deserves. And I must tell you that in this government, in your government, I am delighted to have two of the most senior positions in my cabinet occupied by your MLAs. I'll be relying heavily on Thomas Lukazik as Deputy Premier, although everyone's not quite sure what the job is. I know it's important. And Thomas has already just been a tremendous partner this past week as we've been organizing the House and Cabinet and Legislative committees. It's just been a real privilege to be able to work with Thomas. And of course, Doug Horner, as President of the Treasury Board and Minister of Finance, very important responsibility in our government. And Edmonton will continue to face a number of unique challenges because it is the capital region. And I look forward to working not only with cabinet ministers and MLAs from Edmonton, but with someone who I consider to be a very good friend. And that, of course, is our mayor, Mr. Mandel. He's wearing a lovely bow tie tonight. I first got to know our mayor when I was the Minister of Justice and we were working on Safe Communities initiatives together. And I think that partnership has grown and will continue to grow. And I think that when I think about the friendship that I have with this man, the fact that we can work together to continue to build this community is a really exciting prospect for me. And I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to continue to work together to streamline the municipal grant process so that Edmonton will have added discretion in using the money that's available through the Municipal Sustainability Initiative and Green Trip. And this government's big city charters will also provide Edmonton with stable and predictable funding and the enhanced powers that will let Edmonton get things done faster than ever. And you know your mayor wants to do that. And we'll ensure that the resources and the services and the capabilities that your local government needs to have to thrive are available and supported through a strong partnership. And we will all, in our cabinet and in our caucus, continue to listen to Edmontonians to reflect your ambitions. We will take a fiscally conservative approach to deliver the outcomes that you expect, and that means reliable funding for the public services that make a difference in your life. And we showed in Budget 2012 and talked about during the campaign that this government will continue to invest in your families and in your communities, because that's what builds Alberta. To keep pace with our growing population, we will continue to be funding the $484 million Edmonton Clinic South, which will accommodate 600,000 patient visits per year when it opens this fall. For families without a physician, the East Edmonton Family Care Clinic, which opened last month, is a model of a multidisciplinary team of health professionals that have already served 1,000 patients, and capacity is expected to quadruple a year from now. Extended hours will let families make appointments that suit their schedules. And other parties have talked about leaving desperately needed facilities unbuilt. This government committed not to do that. We will not do that. We will continue to invest in infrastructure, in families, and in communities, because we have the ability to do that in this province. And with the leadership of our Health Minister, Fred Horn, we will fix public health care, and we will make it work for you, because it's the right thing for Alberta's families. And a great city is built on compassion, and I believe Edmontonians know that very well. Under Dave Hancock, our Human Services Minister, we are committed to providing vulnerable Edmontonians and all Albertans with the tools that they need for a better life. We increased the monthly AISH allowance by $400, and we doubled the allowable income exemption as promised. And I know for so many people across this province, it's made a difference to their quality of life. It's made a difference to the way that people can make choices, and it's made a difference not only to individuals who might be receiving that support, but also to their families. And we can do that in Alberta. We also raised the income threshold for the child care subsidy by 42% to $50,000. And here in Edmonton, this means that almost 4,000 more working parents will get new or higher subsidies, so they can stop worrying about child care and focus on providing for their families and improving their quality of life. More spending power means more dignity and a higher standard of living for everyone concerned. And your progressive Conservative government is glad to provide it and will continue to provide it. But we also know that a vibrant capital depends on a bright and stimulating cultural scene, unequal to any in Canada. So it's only fitting that Edmonton will still be the home to the Royal Alberta Museum. You know, I was downtown today by City Hall, and I thought about the core of this city and the beautiful buildings, the gallery, the parks, and to see the vibrancy of activity at lunchtime is just tremendous. And RAM will simply add to that. When this incredible installation opens in 2015, it will have twice as much gallery space and the ability to host major international exhibits and the rarest of artifacts. And that's wonderful. And this project will bring the world to Edmonton's doorstep. Our Culture Minister, Heather Klimchuk, is just as proud as I am to partner with Edmonton and make this happen. And I'm so pleased that she agreed to stay on as our Minister of Culture. I just think she's a champion for the arts and community. And we're bringing this same approach to education. Budget 2012, passed by our progressive Conservative government, established a 3-year funding commitment to education in Alberta. We will keep that promise. We will keep that promise because it gives teachers and it gives school boards certainty. And when the people that work in our school systems have certainty, our children excel, and that's what matters. There will be 4 new schools open in Edmonton this year, 3 others in Millet, Spruce Grove, and Sherwood Park. And at the post-secondary level, our government will upgrade institutions through a new 3-year, $650 million capital project that was a funding commitment that we made during the election. Here in Edmonton, this plan will allow NAIT to replace aging facilities and permit Norquest College to fulfill its vision of consolidating services on a single campus. Under the same program, that's really important for Edmonton and for Alberta. And under this same program, the University of Alberta will see dramatic improvements to its research capabilities in many different fields. With these investments, we are not just constructing buildings. We are building communities, and we are building our future. We are training future Albertans to be able to lead and compete in the global economy. And I'm very glad to have entrusted, truly, because it's a new department, our Minister of Enterprise and Innovation, Steve Kahn, with thinking through how research and innovation and enterprise will come together to assist us in continuing to diversify our economy so that our children will have more options than we can even imagine today. And that's exciting. Everything that we're doing right now is about securing our economic future, investing in our human capital to grow a competitive, knowledge-inspired economy. And Edmonton has a major role to play in that economy on the world stage. This city is already home to the continent's most advanced recycling program, and it hosts the MAS Alberta Heart Institute and the Stollery Children's Hospital, where leading-edge medical research takes place every day and helps Albertans and Canadians and people from other places in the world, something we can truly be proud of. But the role of Edmonton goes beyond that. As the capital of one of the most innovative and energy-rich regions in the world, you are front and center in representing our resources and the accumulated business, scientific, and technological expertise that Alberta has developed in producing them. And this government will be your partner in that. We maintain 10 offices around the world to enhance the province's business interests and to pursue new opportunities abroad. And we're looking at ways to make them work better and to foster deeper engagement with foreign customers. And we're renewing Alberta's relationship with our biggest trading partner, the United States. You'll know that I've visited several times over the past 4 months and will over the next 4 years. I will ensure that Alberta is at the front of their minds. And this government will not back down from supporting pipeline projects like Keystone XL, and we will not back down from defending the oil sands from critics across the border or here at home. The recent statements and the ongoing statements by Thomas Mulcair do not reflect national leadership. His comments were divisive and ill-informed, and his claims about unregulated development and disregard for the environment are false. And I expect someone in Mr. Mulcair's position, seeking to do what he wants to do, to take the time to visit the oil sands and to become properly informed about our province rather than making disparaging comments. And Alberta will continue to develop our world-leading resource economy, and we will develop our natural resources responsibly to protect our environment and grow our markets. And we will let the United States know that Alberta's energy sector is their most secure, responsible, and environmentally conscious supplier, and always will be. But ultimately, our vision for friendship and shared prosperity must begin in Canada. Alberta's future success depends on access to new customers, especially in Asia, so we're committed to the Pacific Coast Gateway Pipeline. We can't expand our infrastructure alone. We're an exporting jurisdiction. So for that, we need a Canadian energy strategy. Other provinces have rich energy resources, and they face similar dilemmas. Alberta will take the lead in finding ways to jointly build infrastructure and manage the impact to keep Canada beautiful without compromising our provincial sovereignty. Every Canadian jurisdiction, we all know as Albertans, must have control over its own resources, and any plan that would suggest anything other just wouldn't work for Alberta and wouldn't work for Canada. This is about advancing a sustainable resource economy and transforming Canada into a global energy leader, with Alberta at its heart and Edmonton at the centre of it all. We will need our capital, our crown jewel, to be the best that it can be. With the right plan, it will be. And this election gave Albertans the chance to define their future. They had a choice between competing visions, and they let us know what they wanted. Albertans told us they want a government that treats their tax dollars with the same respect that they do and supports free enterprise. They told us they want to live in a province that is as tolerant and welcoming as they are. They told us they need strong public services sustained by a government that invests in infrastructure. And they told us that they want us to build bridges instead of walls and be open to the outside world. Albertans told us all of these things, and then they voted for the party that reflects those values and priorities. They chose the Progressive Conservatives. So now it's our job to deliver and to live up to Albertans' expectations. We will commit to saving, to balancing the budget by 2013-14, and to finding innovative ways to maintain our government's long tradition of fiscal discipline. We will give business the regulatory environment and the policy support that it needs to succeed, and then get out of the way. And we will empower all Albertans to reach their full potential, to play a part in the economic, social, and cultural life of the province. We will continue to revamp and revitalize public services so that Albertans can count on an outstanding quality of life. And we will reach out and link up with the wider world so that Albertans can build a 21st century economy. Your government will not waver in the face of change. We will lead the response, we will embrace it, and we will invest in Edmonton. And we will preserve Alberta's special identity as trustees of the Western Spirit, a proud, independent, and self-reliant people that are tempered by compassion as wide and sweeping as the prairies that we live on and the land that we love. This is our time, it's our future, it's your future, and I won't let you down. Thank you.